is Shawna, and I'm the host of the Adelaide Cottage podcast. This is a podcast mostly about knitting, some sewing, quilting. I hand dye yarn and sell my project bags in my Etsy shop, which is also called Adelaide Cottage. At the end of the episode, you'll be able to see all of my contact information. My username on Instagram and Ravelry is Adelaide Cottage as well, and that's all on there. But how are you doing? I'm doing good. I'm home with 2 children today. They both woke up with pink eye, so they couldn't go to school, so you may hear some little boys screaming in the background. Yeah, that's the way it is. It's very hard to keep them away from each other, not touching their faces and washing hands constantly, and we're changing sheets and pillowcases. We went to a friend's house the other day, and they were just getting over pink eye and not contagious anymore, and then the next morning, my kids woke up with it, so they were obviously contagious, but that's neither here nor there. I am preparing for my road trip to Rhinebeck, New York, for the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, and I'm so excited about it. It's my first year going. I'm going with my cousin Dana, our friend Rachel, our friend Tara, who is Spin Monkeys on Instagram and Ravelry, and she also has an Etsy shop. And we rented a little house about 15 minutes or so from the festival. So on Friday morning, we're leaving. It takes about 5 hours to get there. I'm in Buffalo, New York, so we're driving a bit northeast. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Friday night, we're going to go to Indie Untangled, which is an indie-dyer event, and I'm excited for that too. And then Saturday will be all day Rhinebeck, and we'll come home Sunday. At some point, we might go back to the festival Sunday morning if there are vendors we wanted to see but didn't have the chance or what have you. So if you are going, yay, that's super exciting. And I will be at the Podcasters Meetup on Saturday at 1 o'clock. So I look forward to seeing any of my fellow podcasters that will be there and any viewers that are there. Let me know. We can arrange to meet if it's possible. So I don't know what to expect. I can't walk long distances, so I'm hoping there's seating to sit and rest. I don't mind plopping down on the grass. I'm thinking I'll bring a large slouchy crossbody so that I don't have to worry about carrying a purse or a backpack. So, yeah. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what I'm buying. I think I'm going to try to aim to get things that I can't get online, usually. So maybe some hand-spun yarn. There's a couple of vendors that are potters and make buttons and mugs and stitch markers and things. So maybe I'll look to do that. We'll see. But I'm going to show you what I've been working on. I've been frantically trying to finish my Rhinebeck sweater, which is right behind me. It's the Featherweight cardigan by Hannah Fettig. I don't know what happened, where the time went. I put it down for a while because I started getting into cross-stitching as well. And before I knew it, we were leaving in a week for Rhinebeck, and I didn't even have the length done on the cardigan. So I had to do, it was about halfway, it was knit about halfway down where it was supposed to go, and then I still had to do the ribbing, both arms, and then the ribbing around the neck and in the front. So where am I now? It's Wednesday. We leave Friday morning very early. It needs a day to block. And I have 1.5 sleeves done. The length is done, the bottom ribbing's done, and I still have to do the top. So let me show you. For this, I'm using my Chowgu needles, Chowgu, tomato. US size 5, which is 3.75 millimeters. And it's giving me a really nice gauge. I like the fabric that I'm getting with it. So here's what I have. Let's see if I could, here's one arm. And I did about 2 inches of ribbing on the wrist. And here's what I have done on the second arm. So I'm starting the decreases on the second arm, so hopefully it'll start to go more quickly. I'm doing the arms in magic loop on my interchangeable needles. And the yarn I'm using is Madeline Tosh Light in the opaline colorway, which I'm really loving. And then here is the back. And I did about 2 inches of ribbing on the bottom too, so it hits below my waist, kind of right over the top of my butt. I don't know why butt sounds funny to say on my podcast. I'm a labor and delivery nurse. You know, I've seen it all, I've heard it all, I've said it all, I think, but butt sounds funny. So yeah, I'm having fun with this. I need to finish it by tonight, no doubt about it, so that it can block all day tomorrow. Otherwise, we are going to have blocking mats on the top of my minivan on the way to Rhinebeck, and it's going to block in the wind. That's what's going to happen. So, that's been my last 3 days. What else do I have? Also, I'm going to show the prizes for the knit-along that we're doing right now. I think I'm going to do it now so that I don't forget. If you haven't heard already, we are doing a knit or crochet along called Stitching for a Cause. It's in my Ravelry group, which is also called Adelaide Cottage. Feel free to join. It's chatter about each episode, about knit-alongs, quilt-alongs. We're hosting a quilt-along right now with Sarah of the Love Sockwool podcast and Isabel of Fluffy Fibers podcast. So it's a quilt/sew along. Each of our groups has an open thread to have fun. I believe we're each given prizes out for it. It's a lot of fun, so definitely hop over there and check out the details. But the Stitching for a Cause, all the information's in the thread. I'm just going to show you the prizes that I have for that knit along. If you would like to join, the information is there as well. You're basically knitting or crocheting an item for someone that you know that has or had cancer or one of their surviving spouses, in the preferably in the color of their cancer awareness ribbon. It goes through the last day of December, and then I'll draw winners. And I have separated the prizes into four different winners. So I'm excited that we'll have definitely more than just a couple prizes. So the first one is this is a donation from me, the Interpretations Volume 3 book by Johi Locatelli and Vera Valimaki. This is from last winter, and as soon as it came out, I purchased a copy for myself and a copy for a prize for this knit along, because I love the patterns in here. I haven't had the time to knit anything out of it yet, but it seems so brand new to me still, because I haven't knit anything out of it, that I have it in my pile of things to bring to Rhinebeck, because I think on the way there, we're taking turns driving. I'm going to kind of look through it and pick something out to knit, because the patterns in here are gorgeous. I seriously love every single pattern in this book, I think. So I bought a copy for one of you lucky winners. And also, Lily, who is, she has the Nordic Stitches podcast on YouTube. She's lovely. If you haven't already, go check out her podcast. I highly recommend it. She so sweetly made little stitch markers, and I'm going to try to, I don't want to take them all out because I'll probably drop them. There's one progress keeper and then 4 little stitch markers. So the progress keeper is the little ribbon, awareness ribbon, and then there's stitch markers with the cute little bead that looks like a pearl. So that will be one prize, the stitch marker in the book. The next prize is, this is tea sent to me by Vibeke from Norway, and she sent this really yummy sounding black vanilla chai tea. It's black tea, cassia, cardamom, ginger, orange peels, pink pepper, and vanilla. And then I'm including one of these Knitter's Pride gauge checker, needle size checker ruler. It's kind of everything in one. And I also am including this set of stitch markers that I made to go with the tea that you're receiving. So you'll get this little tin with a little teapot stitch marker. The spoon is the progress keeper. And then you get a little teacup and tea saucer stitch marker. So I think there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 items in there. 4 stitch markers and 1 progress keeper. So I thought that would be fun. Oh, there's Dory. Do you guys want to see Dory? Dory. Want a treat? Here. Here, you want a treat? Let's see if she'll come for food. Want a treat? Here. Come on. Come on. Maybe not. She's sitting in the sunlight right now, kind of falling asleep. We'll see if she comes over here. Okay. So the third prize. Here, baby. There you are. I gotcha. Got her. She is so cute. But I'm biased. Look at this little face. And she's purring. Hey, baby girl. Say hi. Look at. Say hi. I love how her eyes match her coat. Her coat of fur. She's like, where are my treats? They're on the floor. Let me go. Okay. All right. Quick visit. Okay, so this is also from Vibeke. This beautiful skein of Norwegian wool. She sent me the information on it in English because the label is printed in Norwegian. But this is beautiful. It looks like a fingering weight. I have to look at it again. It's been a long time since I looked, but it's beautiful. It's like it's a really pretty steel blue, I would say. Looks like a 2-ply. Gorgeous. Thank you very much for donating that. And then you also get stitch markers from Lily and a progress keeper. So that's paired together. And then lastly, Vibeke also sent this amazing bar of Norwegian chocolate, which I mentioned in the podcast before. It was a little soft to the touch when it got here because of the heat and transport, but it seems like it's solidified back together. So it may not look as gorgeous as it tastes when you open it, but it's solid now, and it looks really yummy. So she donated the bar of chocolate. This is from Lily. She sent a couple like mini hanks of yarn to keep or give away. So I kept one, and the other one I'm donating to the podcast. So this is just a beautiful, colorful mini skein that you can use for like a heels and toes or what have you. I'm trying to see the colorway name. It's called Farge on Rag Soft is the type, or the brand, I should say. And then I included, for this prize winner, a sample pack of 6 of the Downton Abbey teas. It's a little assortment pack, so you get 1 of each of their teas, and then Lily included stitch markers and a progress keeper. So those are the prizes. Like I said, it goes through the last day of December, and then I'll draw for the winner on New Year's Day and announce the winner in the podcast. So make sure you're watching. I'm not going to reach out to you. Just contact me once you see the podcast. You'll have, we'll say 2 weeks to respond with your name and address, where to send your prize. Otherwise, I'll redraw the winner. So other knitting I've been doing. I've been working a little bit on my Aisling shawl. I'm saying like maybe 5 rows since you saw it last. So not much progress, but for those of you who didn't see the last podcast, they can kind of see what I'm working on. Let me untangle it first. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row. That was smart. Okay. So here's what I have so far. This is the Aisling shawl. The main color is I Am No Bird by Kristen of Vine Yarns. My favorite color ever, I think. And then the contrasting stripes is my light roast colorway in Adelaide Cottage yarns. And I absolutely love this pattern, and I love the yarn, and I can't wait till it's done, because this I'm keeping. I have my I Love Coffee progress keeper on there. Today I am wearing, this is the Windswept Shawl by Molly of a Homespun House, the pattern, and the yarn is Bijou Basin, Himalayan Trail, in the Claret colorway. This is the only shawl that I've made that I own. I've given them all the other ones away. Hats that I've made, shawls that I've made have all been gifts for people, so I'm on a spree of knitting for Shawna right now. Because I don't have anything to keep me warm. It's getting so cool here. The air is super crisp, and I love this season. I would have loved to have this done for Rhinebeck, because I think it would have looked really nice, but it didn't happen. At least I'll have a cardigan to wear, hopefully. If not, I'll be the lady there with 1.5 sleeves knit on my cardigan. Don't bully me. Okay, what else have I been up to? Going back to the quilt sew-along, I did finish a project and posted a picture in the threads on all 3 of our threads for you to see. I made a little mug rug for a friend, a quilted mug rug, and it was made out of Little House on the Prairie fabric. So I did do that, and I'm currently working on 2 quilts at the moment, but I'm not showing them today because I need to get knitting. Lastly, for knitting, sorry about that. For knitting, I have my Welsh Country socks. These are slowly happening. So the last time, I think I was right past this little section here. So I knit the heel flap, and now I'm kind of turning the heel. I think these will be super cozy to wear this winter. And let's see what yarn I'm using. These are Addy Sock Rockets. This contrasting color is Koigu KPPPM in the dye number, or colorway number P95057. And it's 100% merino wool. And I have my little teapot stitch marker, progress keeper, on there. The white is just a Deborah Norville yarn in the soft white colorway. And this is the Koi Goo all caked up. Cross stitching has a big place in my heart right now. Last time I showed you what I was working on, the little sheep virtues, and I was working on the hope one, and I can't remember if I was finished with it or not to show you the finished piece, so I thought I'd show it again if you didn't see it. So the fabric's kind of washing out with the sunlight right now, but it's a darker beige in real life. So this is going to be a huge picture on my wall with all 12 sheep virtues. So there's like hope, love, wisdom, faith, family, blah, 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 blah. And there'll be 3 across and 4 down. So I'm ready to move on to the second one, and I'm very excited about it. This is I can't remember what the linen is called. Oh well. Butter pecan, I think, is the colorway. But I was having a lot of fun with that. So I think I might bring this with me to Rhinebeck. I'm going to bring a knitting project, my Cozy Memories blanket. I'm bringing my Aisling shawl, my Cozy Memories blanket, and one cross-stitching project. So I think I'll bring this one, since it's sheepy. There's a sheep in each squared virtue. And these patterns are by Little House Needleworks. Country Cottage and Little House. Yeah, Little House Needleworks. I'm new at this cross-stitching thing, so I'm sorry that the information isn't right there in my brain right now. And then I was working on this September cross-stitching project. So it's called the Cottage of the Month by Country Cottage Needleworks, and this is the September one. Cross-stitching takes a long time. It's very time-consuming, but for me, it's extremely relaxing. So I bought a very inexpensive little cross-stitching stand that I can put in next to my living room chair so that I can use both hands to cross-stitch instead of grasping one and stitching with the other and switching, because when I was doing that, my wrist was starting to hurt. So the stand is very, very helpful. But what I did was I just mounted this piece, and then I bought this frame with the clip at Hobby Lobby, and that's it. So I'm skipping the November one this year because I really want to start working on my little sheep virtues, and there's also a Christmas one that I'm stitching along with a friend. So this is staying out all year round because it took so long, and it's so cute, isn't it? So that's what I have. I did a video tour of my new room because that's where I'm sitting right now. And at the end of the episode, I can show it to you if you'd like to see it. It's about 15 minutes long. I kind of take you on a tour through my new craft space. I am so inspired and so excited to work in here. I have a lot of really great plans for the shop, things that I'm going to be making for it. So keep your ears peeled. If you are a Gilmore Girls fan, there's a reunion show coming up in late November, and I'm going to have really fun things available for you. So make sure that you're watching the podcasts and watching on Instagram, because I'll announce shop updates there. So yeah, that's all I have. I'm going to go and play with the boys for a bit, and I hope you enjoy my craft room tour, and whoever's going to Rhinebeck, I look forward to seeing you there, hopefully. And for those of you who are not, take care, be safe, stay warm, all of that good stuff. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. You guys, my craft room is done and I love it. And I'm so excited to take you on a little video tour to see where I'm going to be creating. I hope you enjoy. Okay, here it is. This is a new desk that my husband built for me, the L-shaped desk right there. And he made it out of the same wood that he built this cute little shelf and my desk previously. Excuse me, so everything matches. So we will start in the beginning and I'll just kind of take you through what I have. These are just obviously my spools of thread. I wanted them close to my sewing machine so that I can easily grab them. In here I just have some old pictures. This is actually my grandparents on my mom's side. That's my grandma Marian, and I named one of my yarn bases after her. And then this is Adelaide Cottage, our cottage in Fort Erie, Ontario in Canada. Got a little mug rug that I made, my sewing machine. This is the Brother CS6000i. In my opinion, it's a really, really fantastic machine for starting out and even for intermediate use. I am finding, however, that with quilting, that the arm is a little bit small. This area right here. It's kind of hard to get when I'm sewing all of the pieces together. It's hard to get the whole entire blanket in that space, but I'll upgrade eventually, but this is doing the job for now. So over here I have some flowers, and they have a little bit of lace in them. They're obviously not real. And then this milk jar I got at Hobby Lobby, and then I poured a little bit of the paint that we painted the walls with. I poured a little bit inside of the bottle and let it dry just so that it matches. My pins. These are all just pictures of old pictures of my mom when she was little baby. Ooh, here's Peanut. Hi, Peanut. Just some storage. I've got my planner, my notebook, another mug rug that he thinks is a seat. Gross. Have to wash that. And here's the shelf above that desk that I have decorated a little bit. This doily is uneven and it's bothering me. Okay, so a little storage rack that I have nothing on yet. I got that from a good friend, the little ornament. These jars are filled with old lace. This picture I really love because there's a knitting basket and a rocking chair out in nature. These are my sewing notions that I can just reach above me and grab when I need. And just some more decor. Yeah, and then I have scissors, my sewing bobbins, and rotary cutter, X-Acto knife. And then moving on over here, I'll move back a little bit. I have another shelf where I am keeping more of my ribbons that I used for trim, like decorative. And then the little jars, I have buttons and safety pins and paper clips, and these are sewing clips, which I love. And then I got the little letters to spell out knit and sew, a jar of old vintage buttons. Here's my little knitting lady friend. And then just, there's more storage I have to fill. And then paint for, crafts, decor. On the windows, I put lace curtains, just to make it a little bit more shabby and girly. I wanted something sheer so that I can see outside when the kids are playing. and get a lot of nice natural light in here. And then there's my form for sewing. She needs a stand, but for now she's just hanging out on the floor. Peanut, did you claim that spot to be yours? And there's Dory. Hey Dory, you gonna come visit? Okay, moving on. This is my yarn and fabric storage. It's not completely full yet. I still have another tote of fabric to fold and put away. But up here I have my iron, my nitty knotty, and my yarn ball winder. Here is, at the top, odds and ends yarns. These are indie-dyed. These are yarns I have to wind into minis, cotton yarn, and these two shelves are sock yarns. Mostly Patton's Croy, Knit Picks Felici, and Deborah Norville. And I have some Bergère de France on the right. Some bear yarn. I have another bag of it in the other room I have to put away. And then these are my fabrics, and as you can see I need to start sewing through them and making some scrappy bags and quilts. So I've color-coded them with their base background color. And then right here are all my holiday fabrics. The left side's Christmas, the right side's Halloween, Easter, and fall. And then we've got canvas. And then lots of craft books on the bottom. The left side's mostly knitting. The right side is cross-stitching, soap making, yarn dyeing, and craft books for the boys and I to do. And these are all vintage crates that we got at an antique sale. And what we did was we sealed the inside of the wood with a wood sealant so that they, first of all, they would be a little bit more smooth, and whatever old dirt is inside of them, because they are old, stays inside of them. They were washed out and obviously dried in the sun, and then we sealed them up. My beautiful Ashford wheel, which I have to take a Craftsy course to learn how to use it properly, but I just love the way it looks. And I'm sure that it works just as well. So this is my other craft desk that I adore, that my husband built for me when I first learned how to sew. It is perfect. So I'm using this as more of a cutting station now, and also just where I need a lot of space. So it's long and it's wide. I have my Swift, obviously my cutting mat, and we've got my AccuQuilt Go dies right there, the green, and then my cutting measuring boards. Here is, excuse me, just a bunch of stuff. On the side here is where I'm going to be hanging all of my stitch markers and progress keepers. I've got lots of note cards. I like sending cards to people, so I've got all my cards in there. These are my straight knitting needles, markers, pens, extra cables, rotary cutter, since this is where I'll be cutting most of the time. Let's see what's in these drawers. More knitting notions. These are needle minders for cross stitch. And more knitting notions. And then in the corner, shoved away, is all of my batting and interfacing. In the drawers I just have miscellaneous goodies. I'm not going to bore you with that. It's just kind of stuff that I didn't want on display, you know, just littles, you know. And then down here, way underneath, I have my AccuQuilt Go, because it's pretty heavy. It's about 15 pounds, so I didn't want to put it on the shelf. And a little cutting thing that I've had since I was a teenager. A caddy that I have to fill. Scrappy pieces of batting and interfacing. All of my patterns. This big bag I love. I think I bought it at Missouri Quilt Company. But it's a large zipper pouch with a see-through front. And this is where I keep all of my 10-inch layer cake fabric sets for quilts. This is a storage container of fabric from jelly rolls, which are 2.5-inch strips that are very long. I think they're 2.5 by 41 inches or 42 inches. So once these get messed up, they're messed up. So I like this container because it holds them down with those little arms so that the pieces don't go flying everywhere. This container here has my other pre-cuts, my fabric pre-cuts. So there's 5-inch squares, triangles, 2.5-inch squares, and some Christmas and charm packs. I've got a larger thread spool holder. I have the base for my sewing machine to make the base wider. I have a rotating cutting mat here, the gray. And then this black one has a handle, and it's a traveling cutting mat / ironing board. I got that because I'm hoping when we go camping next year, I'll be able to bring some of my quilting things. My sewing machine is not heavy, so I can easily carry that with me, and I can bring that. So over here I have 2 more things to show you. I don't really like how this looks in here, this shelf, but I need it for space right now. So I have another picture, a vintage bowl. Hold on, sweetie. Evan's calling me. I'm in my sewing room, honey. These here are my knitting needle sets and interchangeables, DPNs. My yarn scale, my Mason-Dixon knitting coloring book, and all of my Taproot magazines. In the bottom drawer, I keep all my prizes for the podcast, for giveaways. And this is my favorite addition, I think. This is fantastic for my shop. In the top, there is 5 by 5. So there's 25 squares that I fill with stuff I use for packaging. So in the top, hold on, baby. In the top right corner is right there. My yarn labels. I've got my pins, tees, little baggies, thank you notes, stamps, all the goodies you can see. On the side is lots of storage for ribbon and washi tape, which is fantastic. So wherever I want to package, I just roll this thing with me because it's on wheels. In here I've got lots of charms to make stitch markers and progress keepers, yarn label stickers, and then in the bottom 2 drawers are all just bags, poly bags and things needed for packaging. Along the top, my husband put these shelves up, and there's also lights that go around, little mini lights that light up in the evening for about 4 hours, and it just gives it a really pretty ambiance. I love it. We just got them at Michael's, and it's awesome. So he decorated the top shelf for me because I can't go on a ladder. So we picked up that box. It's got all the little squares. It's an old soda delivery box. And he filled it up with little scraps of yarn.
Mama.
What, honey?
I drank all my juice.
Good job. And then we've just got some old shabby vintagey items. In the corner there in the shadow box is my great-grandmother's wedding veil. My little sheepy guy. My afternoon tea book, little tea set.
Mama.
An old vintage iron.
Mama.
Hold on, honey. Knitting needle boxes from Jason's aunt, my husband's aunt, because she can't see very good to knit anymore. So she gave them to me. And then I have old vintage knitting patterns up there. And then, of course, I needed a girly, shabby chic chandelier. So that is it, you guys. I hope that you really enjoyed my new space. I feel very inspired. I love being in here. I feel so refreshed when I walk in here. Even my husband said, this room is so nice and cozy and refreshing, and all the words I just used. I'm like, I thought the same exact thing. So I hope you enjoyed seeing it. I will be making lots of fun things for my Etsy shop in here and just for friends and family and just having a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. Bye!